All right. Welcome to the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show. I had a chance to watch the Hall of Fame game. For those of you who know that the Hall of Fame game is before the actual Hall of Fame. And so this show, episode 1, is going to be strictly about fantasy information, fantasy news, and ways that I can improve my fantasy team. This is just a practice episode, a pilot episode. I'm going to do 5 practice episodes, which none of my show music is ready. None of my intros are ready. But I want to kind of get started so that I can get good at the information. And by the time the season starts on September 2nd, have a good show to put out on YouTube. I am still going to put these practice shows out, but I just want to make sure that I get started. So, we had the Hall of Fame game between the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Chicago Bears. I was scouting. I had a chance to scout the game. Yes, some information. For those of you who know, when you're you got to scout your fantasy players, and the players that I actually scouted were RG3's back. So RG3, shout out to RG3. You know what I'm saying? I have his rookie card, and he played for the Redskins, and then he went through a couple turmoils, played for another team, the Browns, I think, and he disappeared for a while, got into a little, marriage trouble here and there, all that, But now he's back. He's cut his hair. That's always a change. When you cut your hair and you do anything to change your frame and your frame of mind, your body, everything, you're coming in fresh. So RG3. Watching RG3, they didn't give Joe Flacco any, snaps at all. He just completely rested. They use RG3, and then they use Lamar Jackson, who I'll talk about in a second. But RG3, the snaps that I saw for RG3 looked really good. RG3 actually looked really, really good. I saw spirals. I didn't see any ducks. For those who know, spiral, good, nice, accurate passes. None of the passes looked off mark. All of his passes looked like, that they hit the players right on target. So, RG3 looks like he's a valuable fantasy player. For those who know, Flacco has been injury prone for the past few years. I don't know how many games he's going to play, but I do know that RG3 is going to be number 2 on the depth chart. So I'm probably going to pick up RG3 as a, backup quarterback, depending on where I am in my draft of my fantasy league. I do a fantasy league with 12 real people. It doesn't cost any money. But then, this year I'm going to do a fantasy league with 12 people that I know I've been playing with for the past 5-6 years. And then I'm going to do a pay league, one where I can go get that bag. Maybe I'll put in 100 and go try to get like a couple thousand or something like that. And then I also do DraftKings and FanDuel. So my show is going to be based on me, on my real league that doesn't have any money, but also a pay league that I do put in some money and try to win a bag, some cash. And then also DraftKings and FanDuel. So that's what my league is going to be based on. But anyway, back to RG3. RG3, he looked like that when he did run, he got out of the way. He didn't get hit pretty bad because we all know in the past that RG3 would run and just reckless abandon, get smashed to pieces. You know what I'm saying? And how he got hurt one time. You know what I'm saying? So if RG3, if they can teach this guy how to slide, how to get out of the way, and how to not get hit when he runs, when he has to run, because everybody knows the quarterback sometimes has to run, or if they set him up with run plays sometimes because he's fast, track star out of Baylor, if he can just slide and get out of the way, he'll be fine. So RG3, get out of the way, don't get hit, and you'll be fine. Because I like how he's passing. He looks good out there. He looks like he's really going to be a good quarterback, a good backup for Flacco. And if Flacco was to get hurt, he looked like he'd, be able to get this team somewhere. Because he actually threw a touchdown pass. RG3 threw a touchdown pass to a guy named Max Williams, who is a tight end for the Ravens, who didn't get a chance to play much because of injury. But he comes from the University of Minnesota. He looks tough, man. He looks like a good tight end. I mean, if he stays healthy, Max Williams is definitely a tight end that people should pick up. Check him out. Google Max Williams. He's tough. He's tatted, big arms. And guess what? The touchdown that RG3 actually threw to him came out of he was set up, he lined up in fullback position. They hiked the ball. Max Williams comes out of fullback position to the right. Nobody expects him. They think he's going to pick up a block, but he runs up the field untouched. Touchdown. Boom. And this was 10 yards out. And it was an accurate pass from RG3. Like I'm saying, RG3 is accurate. You know what I'm saying? He looks really good. So Max Williams is definitely a tight end to pick up. Because it looks like the Baltimore Ravens are going to use their tight ends as their main receivers. Because their main receivers suck. I'm telling you right now. Bashard Perryman, I would not use in fantasy. I don't know who else they have. I didn't see anybody else in that game. They were throwing the ball to the receivers, but none of them caught my eye. And I've been playing fantasy since 2009, since Adrian Peterson was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I came in the league like that the last year Brett Favre retired. You know what I'm saying? So I know fantasy. I've been playing. This is going to be my, 2018? It's going to be my 8th year at fantasy. You know what I mean? So I know my fantasy. I'm just telling you straight up. I would not use Bashard Perryman. Matter of fact, RG3 threw him the ball. And no. Wait, was it RG3? Yeah, I think RG3 threw him the ball. And he had his hands like this. And it went straight through his hands like this. Like, how you going to miss the ball and it's going straight through your hands? Yo, pick it up, Bashard. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, fantasy players are not going to use you if you catching the ball like this and it goes straight through your hands. You know what I'm saying? That's like, holding a lady's titty, trying to suck it, and, you miss it. Like, she's going to be like, what are you doing? Okay? All right. Anyway, so, a little vulgar there, but, hey, I'm a guy. So, anyway, RG3 looked really good. So, pick up RG3. I'm going to pick up RG3 depending on where I fall in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So, now let's talk about, matter of fact, before I finish up RG3, he is a Heisman winner. So if you know, Heisman winners are valuable. No matter where they are in the league, what they're doing, they can always leave the league, come back, and they're valuable. Okay, they're valuable. They're just good at everything. So he is a Heisman winner. Now, let's talk about Lamar Jackson, another Heisman winner. Now, I've been watching Lamar Jackson for a long time. He plays for the Louisville Cardinals. He played for the the Cardinals out of Louisville. And, man, Lamar, super accurate. I watched him last year. His team wasn't as good. It was, he didn't have any help. You know what I mean? The receivers he had sucked. Offensive line sucked. You know what I'm saying? But the year before, when he won the Heisman, there was those guys that were there, the seniors, all that team, were good for him. They had receivers. They had offensive linemen. And he won the Heisman because he was just accurate. Boom, boom, boom. And he could run a little bit. But the thing about Lamar Jackson that I did notice when he was with the Cardinals of Louisville, he would run and then he seemed like he would start to fall over himself. You know what I'm saying? So all Lamar Jackson needs is a little balance. You know what I mean? Maybe take ballerina class like, you know what I'm saying, some of the Raiders did back in the day. Willie Brown and all that. No, Tim Brown, my bad. Tim Brown actually took ballerina classes to get his balance right. And there's nothing wrong with that. So Lamar Jackson, get your balance right, and then when you start running and falling forward, you know, get that. If you were to just, because he didn't run track. I mean, as far as I know, Lamar didn't run track for his college or whatever. But let's talk about the game. Lamar Jackson, when they put him in, looked very accurate. He threw the ball, and he all his balls went to the receivers, kind of like RG3. And when he did run, his first actual play was a run play, and he faked the pass, and then he ran around the right, and then got 10 yards for the first down. But see, the thing I'm noticing about Lamar is he's gonna have to stop thinking this is college and try to, you know, get a little contact and all this and that, because you will get that welcome to the NFL hit, and it might put you out. So for Lamar Jackson, if he could they can just tell him, hey, dive, slide, like RG3. They got two valuable, good quarterbacks, but they're both fast and they're both going to run. Lamar Jackson just needs to, when he runs, slide, get out of bounds, don't get hit, because these guys, NFL, they don't care. They do not care. They will put you out. So, but anyway, I would put Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team if I had to, you know what I mean? Depending on where I am in any draft or any team, or on one of my leagues, in one of my two leagues, or one of my DraftKings or FanDuel, I mean, I will probably use them if they're in the game. Like if there's a situation where Flacco's out, RG3's in, then yes, I will back up RG3 with Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Because you got to have, as a fantasy player, always have a backup to your starter. We call it handcuff. Because sometimes when you're playing that game and you got an extra spot and you're like, okay, who do I use? For instance, you know, you got two running backs, you know what I mean? And you want to back up your running back with another running back just in case your running back gets hurt. But anyway, RG3 and Lamar Jackson look very good. Lamar Jackson threw a touchdown pass too. So, I mean, you got a preseason game where these guys are throwing touchdown passes. You wake up, because when they throw touchdown passes, they are good. Like, this game could have went through 0-0, boring. No, but this game was actually interesting. Okay? Lamar Jackson threw his touchdown to a tight end named Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is a very good tight end. There was actually a little spotlight on him during the game. Hayden Hurst came from South Carolina. South Carolina Gamecocks. That's their coach. Their coach is amazing. That team is amazing. I mean, you know, he under David Clowney. You know what I mean? Under that you know, all that type of thing. I'm going to tell you that Hayden Hurst should be picked up. Now, he's a rookie, okay? He is going to be a good tight end. And like I just told you before, Baltimore are going to use their tight ends as their receivers because they don't have any receivers. Until the trade deadline comes or whatever and they start trading for some receivers, Baltimore don't have any receivers. They're going to be using these tight ends. So if I was you, like me, I'm going to be picking up Max Williams and Hayden Hurst. You heard it here first. Hayden Hurst needs to be on all teams. He should be, as a backup tight end. Whoever your starter is, you need to have Hayden Hurst as a backup because he is going to be a factor. I tell you right now, he's going to have at least one touchdown a game, and he's going to get at least 12 touchdowns. So the guy is very strong, looks tough, you know what I'm saying? And he's a redhead. And I'm going to tell you something about redheads. You know what I mean? if you ever saw that movie back in the day, where the kid was bad and he had red hair, you know, I don't know, whatever that movie was, but the redheads always want attention, and they're gonna get that fire attention, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna go for it. And they're gonna do what they gotta do because they're redheads. You know what I'm saying? And they've always been like picked on, and so when they get to their situations, man, they're gonna do what they gotta do to get their stuff together. So there you have it. Max Williams and Hayden Hurst as tight ends. RG3 and Lamar Jackson as backup quarterbacks. Okay, because we all know Flacco, who knows how long he's going to play or whatever. But I'm just telling you, RG3 looked very well, and he looked accurate. When he runs, he just needs to slide and stay out of trouble. And the same for Lamar Jackson. You got 2 Heisman Trophy winners as quarterbacks on your team. I mean, Baltimore, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but they might go and be 500 because they look like they have a pretty damn good defense. They have a linebacker, Correa. This guy, Correa, is a monster. His last name is Correa. Check out, Google his first name. I don't know. But he looked very monstrous. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like he's going to be able to help that defense get through. So, Baltimore's always had that type of defense. You know, they've always specialized in defense, you know. So, anyway, I'm just letting you know what I saw and how I scouted the Hall of Fame game. In future episodes, I will be doing lineups, and I will be putting the camera on my lineups and walking around getting information from people about players, and that's what the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show is going to be about. You know, because I'm a hip hopper, rapper, producer, sound engineer, and I also play fantasy. Okay, and not a lot of us do. So, you know, I got albums out there. I got, movies out. So now I'm dipping into the fantasy world, which I've been in for 8 years, but now I want to let the world know I do that. So there you have it. This is my version of what went down on the Hall of Fame game 2018. So this has been Joosik Energetic, and I'm letting you know that you should check out my show, Joosik Energetic's Fantasy Football Show. So, once again, I'm going to sign out. I'm going to let you know, pay attention, scout your fantasy players, because during this episode, I'm going to drop in some more information on scouting. So, check out everything I've been telling you about and learn about fantasy, okay? And always scout your players. And watch every game in the preseason. Do not go through the preseason missing these games, because the preseason is very important on scouting and finding players. So once again, this has been Joosik Energetics Fantasy Football Show, and I'm Joosik Energetic, and I'm out. Peace. You. This is Joosik Energetic for Joosik Energetics Fantasy Football Show. Right now, we're going to go live on RG3 and check him out. Let's scout him out. Let's see what he's got.
Got plenty left. Meanwhile, Hurst made the catch. Rookie, he was
RG3 at quarterback. Let's see what he's got.
Back in April, first down up the 32-yard line. Quick throw.
Okay. It's a nice little check down pass from RG3. Once again, this is Joosik Energetic for fantasy. Once again, this is Joosik Energetic for Joosik Energetics Fantasy Football Show.
You got Vic Fangio, who certainly is used to playing with great linebackers. He did out there in San Francisco all those years. But this is a football team that if they get speed at the line,
we're going to check RG3 out. Once again, this is Joosik Energetic for Fantasy Football Show.
And I think this defense has a chance to make a real jump this year because
We're scouting out RG3.
Still a little mean streak. It sounds like he was listening.
32. Rivers going to keep it. Can he turn the corner?
Okay.
It's close.
Now,
Where did he cross the line?
RG3 knows he can't run a lot, so it's very dangerous. So, we're watching the Hall of Fame game, guys. Studying on fantasy. Joosik Energetik
You know, you forget.
for Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show.
At one time, still ask me
We're gonna scout RG3 out once again. Fantasy football, you scout. This is the Hall of Fame game preseason. RG3's back, so let's scout him out.
Has an opportunity. Can he stick is the question. As RG comes back and throws
Oh, that was a good pass,
at the 45-yard
but the guy just didn't catch it. So, once again, scouting out, getting ready for the fantasy football season. This is Joosik Energetik for Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show.
Take a look at Orlando Brown.
All right, this is Joosik Energetik from Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. We're about to scout Lamar Jackson, rookie from Louisville. Let's see what he's got.
I was a child. I'm 43 years old now, right? So we grew together, and what we done.
This is Joosik Energetik for Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. We're about to scout Lamar Jackson. Let's see what he's got.
Like, I will never leave my city. Nobody can't pay me amount of money to get me to put on a different color jersey.
Well, and I don't think they want you to leave. You know, your
Okay.
leadership
That was a nice run right there.
You were the leader there, of course. Reached out to you for advice on a
Joosik
regular
Energetik
basis, and you
from Joosik
welcomed it.
Energetik's fantasy
Really
football
tremendous
show.
football.
We're about to scout
I embrace that
Lamar
simply
Jackson,
because
play
of
number
what
2.
I never had when I was a child.
Rookie
And
from
it's kinda
Louisville.
why
Let's see what
I'm
he's got.
so there
Play number 2.
for my kids at every call, because when you miss that as a man, you know the way someone's feeling when they ask for it. So when young kids are asking for leadership, young superstars that are just go don't have. If you go back to the days,
We're watching the Hall of Fame game,
those days,
scouting
we
out
had
the
people
new
that was
rookies.
mentors to young
Joosik
men.
Energetik
And
for
now,
Joosik
when I saw
Energetik's
the
fantasy
game,
football
I
show.
became that guy.
We're about to scout Lamar Jackson. Let's watch him. Let's check him out.
I know he's going to give me the right information. He may not give me what I always want to hear, but he's going to give me the right information. And so it's like uplifting to me. It warms my heart when I get home and say, "Wow, he got it. He's changing." And you see him changing, right? And you see the evolve of a young man.
So far, he's only done
Because
runs.
he's
Let's see if
asking
he's
for
got an
advice.
arm.
So man, I
We want to see the accuracy we heard about in college.
I am.
Let's scout Lamar Jackson. It's Joosik Energetik with Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. Let's see what he does.
Wants to read the defenses. Often
Oh,
will
great
do a
pass.
Second or third look, but that X factor of his ability to run is
only 21 years old. Went back to play one more year at Louisville. And probably the future.
Let's scout Lamar Jackson. This is Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show.
Quarterbacks, that's the question.
Rookie out of Louisville. Here we go.
But Jackson getting his feet wet tonight here in Canton. And he fires, and that will be caught. And that's
Great
gonna be
pass.
first down, and taken to the 11-yard line.
First down pass right there.
Rookie out of UCLA.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Always scout your players
Breaks out the pocket, has
so you can know what's going on during the regular
He's
season.
not looking to run.
he was in the game. A lot of times they're not moving to run; they're moving to throw the football.
All right, let's
And
scout
we
Lamar
see
Jackson once again. That was a great pass.
When you look at a defense,
Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. Let's scout him.
There's 6 gaps. You have to protect.
See what he's
one.
got.
Nobody's going to rush 6. So now you've got somewhere to go for this guy on almost every play.
Fact.
And he can't escape. He's taken down at
Tony,
Let's scout Lamar Jackson again.
5.3 yards.
Joosik Energetik for Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. Watching the Hall of Fame game 2018.
And 79
Scout your fantasy players
Now, they
early.
incorporated
Already got 2 to
any of
release.
the RPO stuff, any of the design stuff. He's just out here playing football tonight.
Oh.
Yep, he gets picked off.
He got picked off, y'all. It's all right. Still a rookie.
Makes the interception. Second and 13. Fires over the middle.
Touchdown. Oh.
Intended for the pass, but another flag comes into the end zone here for him.
Lamar Jackson trying to throw a touchdown. Joosik Energetik for Joosik Energetik's fantasy football show. We're gonna scout Lamar Jackson.
In the stomach and the ribs and
Here we
the
go.
thigh anywhere else, and that's a foul.
First and goal.
Let's look. Lower his head, a helmet on the
Always scout your
arm,
players.
shoulder area.
Helmet made contact first.
Hall of Fame game. Touchdown.
Hurst here for a touchdown.
Lamar Jackson to the Hurst.
First round draft choices, the tight end and the quarterback.
Hayden Hurst and Lamar Jackson.
Baltimore 16-7 lead.
There's Hayden Hurst, big tight end. Scouting him.
Down to that third and long where Jackson was able to connect.
Here's a replay.
And here once again, you'll see Hurst just coming off, understanding what's going on. He's an older guy. I think he's 25 years old. Just you'll see him and sit down. But what an impressive start there for Lamar Jackson.
And this
Yep.
is what you want to see, Chris.
No.
As you said, sit in the pocket, get that toe step.
Yeah, it is hot down there.
Right, we know he can
Well,
run.
folks, you just saw Lamar Jackson throw a touchdown to Hayden Hurst, the new tight end. So we scouting Hayden Hurst and Lamar Jackson for our fantasy team. This has been Joosik Energetik for Joosik Energetik Fantasy Football Show. Watching the Hall of Fame game. Peace.